Hello student, very good morning to all of you. How are you? I hope you all are happy, healthy and fine at home. Do you remember what were we discussing yesterday? I think we were discussing about the scheme number 12. The heading was given to that construction of vinyl iodide minus 26 means enantiomerically pure compound we are trying to synthesize over here, that is a 26. Look at here, starting from the compound number 56 plus 56, we have got the structure number 23. By adding the suitable reagent on it, we came up to the structure number 64. And now, today, we are going to discuss the remaining part of this scheme. So, let us begin with this compound number 64 which we got over here. Now, I am continuing the yesterday's lecture. So, you should stay as alert as you can keep the sequence. After 64, I am adding the reagent. The reagent is E reagent, that is NMO, followed by TPAP, catalytic amount. So, after addition of this E reagent, what do you get? You are going to get the compound number 64, and which I am going to represent over here. That NMO TPAP, that is the reagent which is the oxidizing reagent which oxidize the secondary alcohol into the carbonyl group, and other part of the organic compound, this 64 remains as it is. So, let us see over here. See, I am showing this is the structure, other part of the this 64 remains as it is, which I am representing those group as BO, M. Then now the hydrogen atom which is above the plane, this is the hydrogen atom which is below the plane, and now this the secondary alcohol is converted into as a ketone. Oxidation takes place because this is a well known reagent for the oxidation, and now we got the structure number minus 65. Enantiomerically pure compound we got here, minus 65. Now, if you observe this structure carefully, where the reagent which we have used in this transformation is a NMO. Let us see what do you mean by, what is the full form of NMO is nothing but as a N-methyl morpholine. N-methyl morpholine. M stand for morpholine, N-oxide. So, this is the what we can call it as a full form of NMO, that is a N-methyl morpholine. As we know that the structure of morpholine will be like this. This is a secondary amine and tetrahedral THF, we are knowing that type of the structure. Now N-methyl, now N-methyl oxide means here you can join oxygen atom, and here is a methyl group and positive charge over there. This is the structure of NMO, means N-methyl morpholine. The characteristic of this reagent, number one, is a commercially available. This is a commercially available. The characteristic of this compound is a commercially available. Now the second characteristic or the feature, it is a monohydrate. We know that it is a monohydrate. This is a speciality of this reagent, and it has the melting point of this compound is approximately 70 degree centigrade Celsius, 70 degree Celsius. Then it is a stable under normal condition, stable under normal condition, stable under normal condition. Another characteristic of this compound is a soluble in polar solvent. Generally soluble in polar solvent, such as water, and stoichiometric oxidant, transition metal catalyzed oxidant. So these are the some of the characteristics of this compound. Now then there will be a TPAP. What do you mean by the TPAP? TPAP is nothing but as a tetra. T stand for tetra propyl, A stand for ammonium, P stand for parenthene, perunthate. So that is a full form of TPA, and it is a double oxidation and the selective oxidation generally achieved by using this catalyst. So now let us see, we got the structure number 65 here. Now I am once again showing the next reagent. Next step will be, now I am adding the reagent over 65. What do I get over here that I am showing? When the reagents, like here F reagent is nothing but as a tris, this one, tris NH2, tris NH2, that is a hydrazine we are using here. And as we know that whenever the hydrazine is used, only one functional group capable of reacting with this, there is addition elimination reaction takes place, and the resulting compound obtained is known as the hydrazone, and that hydrazone we are going to get over here. This is the simplest reaction, and now which I am showing or which I am representing here. You can observe this carefully. Now here I am showing this one. The other group, they are remains as it is. So here isopropene group which is as it is. Here the another group, that is BOM, that group also remains as it is. Here is a hydrogen atom which is remains as it is. Another one, the hydrogen atom which I am representing, that is also as it is. But here now the carbonyl group reacted with that tris hydrazine, it produce N, then NH tris. NH tris, that is the derivative we have obtained over here, and that product is nothing but as a now nothing but as a minus 66. That is the structure we got over here. On that 65, when we added, we got this hydrazone derivative here. Now I am, as we know that you are familiar now with me, so you understood what I am going to do now here. So now on 66, now I am only inverting as an arrow, as we know that, and after inverting that, we are adding the reagent, the G reagent. G reagent, what is that? G reagent is a normal butyl lithium I2 iodine, and after addition of this reagent, what do I get? I am going to get over here the structure number is minus 26, which is the required structure which we are going to get over here. And what is it? Let us see here the structure which we are going to get over here. Remember, this is the structure which I am showing over here, which I am representing here. You can see carefully here isopropene group, the other group O, BOM. Now this is the hydrogen atom which always remains on above the plane. This is the hydrogen atom at this position which always remains below the plane. Now here what is going to happen? After the addition of this reagent, there is a addition of iodide, vinyl iodide, that is nothing but as a vinyl iodide minus 26, and here we got as a minus 26, which is a vinyl iodide. That is our final product which we got by addition. But here in the one way we achieved this one, other way round, let me show that also. This 26 we can achieve or we can obtain from the structure number 65. Once again, let me draw that structure, that is a 65 which I am showing over here. This is the structure. Now here you can remember isopropyl group. This is a O, BOM, and now this is the hydrogen atom which is above the plane. Here is a hydrogen atom that is below the plane, and now this is the oxygen atom. So this structure is nothing but as a minus 65. After addition of that structure minus 65, when we add the reagent H here, H reagent, the H reagent is nothing but as a KH MDS followed by PHN TF twice, that is the reagent. After the addition of this reagent, what we are going to get? So here the reduction occur, and the product which we are going to get over here, that I am representing as it is the 5-membered ring. Here the isopropylene group which is as it is here is O, BOM. Then there is a hydrogen atom which is remains as it is. Here also as a hydrogen atom which is as it is. Here there will be OTF, that is obtained over there, and there will be a double bond. And this is the structure which we got over here. That structure, after this structure, when this structure further treated with the reagents, this structure number we can call it as a 67. Here you can remember this is a structure number is 67 over here, and after when that 67 further treated with the reagent which I am going to show over here, these are the reagent. Now here the reagent number I, Me3, SN, Me3. Me3 means trimethyl, trimethyl, followed by palladium dichloride, and there will be DPPF twice. DPPF twice, followed by J reagent, that is a NIS, N-iodosuccinamide, and the resulting compound obtained will be this one. Let me show that structure once again over here. This is our final structure where we are getting here iodine. Instead of that OTF, we get this one. Other part of the organic compound, they are remains as it is. So I am showing as it is BOM. The hydrogen atom here is as it is. Here also as another hydrogen atom which I am showing, and this is nothing but as a minus structure number 26 which is got over here. So in this way we have got the structure number 26 which is nothing but as a vinyl iodide minus 26. With the completion of ring A and in preparation for appropriate functionalization of ring B, a protecting group within plus 63 was necessity. The reagents and the condition which we have used during these processes, that we are going to discuss here one by one. Let us see that are the reagents which we have used here. Now let us see reagent and the conditions. Reagents and conditions. Reagents and conditions. Reagents and conditions. The reagents and the conditions which we have employed here was, these are the reagents which we have used. Let us See, those reagents which we have used here are number 1 A. The reagent which we have used is this one, para nitro C6H4 COOH, para nitro benzoic acid, and which was taken about 1.5 equivalent, followed by DEAD, which we know that diethyl azo dicarboxylate, which was taken about 1.5 equivalent, and then used as PS3P triphenylphosphine, which was taken near about 1.8 equivalent, 1.8 equivalent in a benzene, used as a benzene, and the temperature is kept about 0 to 25 degrees centigrade, and the reaction was stored near about 18 hours, and the 94% overall yield was obtained during this transformation. Here the DEAD did dimethyl azo dicarboxylate, which we already discussed in our previous. This is a full form of DEAD, means what? DEAD is nothing but as a diethyl azo dicarboxylate, and the structure will be ETO twice C, N double bond N, then CO twice ET. This must be the structure of that diethyl azo dicarboxylate. And next reagent which we have used, that is a B reagent, and that B reagent is nothing but the diebal EH, that is a diebal EH. The equivalent is 1.0 mole in hexane, 2.5 equivalent, and the solvent used as CH2Cl2 dichloromethane, and temperature kept near about minus 78 degrees centigrade, and this reaction was stirred for 30 minutes, and 96 overall yield was obtained after this conversion. Diebal is nothing but as a diisobutyl. Let's see, the full form of diebal is nothing but as a diebal H is nothing but as a diisobutyl aluminum hydride, that is the full form of diebal, and general use of diebal, as we know that it can convert the ester group into as a aldehyde group, And now the structure AlH, that is aluminum hydride, this part you can write, and you further attach the groove which is this one, another groove you can attach like this. This is isobutyl. So, two are there, therefore diisobutyl aluminum hydride. This is a structure drawn over here. And after that, the next structure will be the next reagent we are adding here. Let us see the reagent number C over here. Reagent number C will be BOM chloride, BOMCl, that is a benzoyl methyl chloride, and which was taken near about 3.0 equivalent. Then IPR2NT, IPR2N, NET, which was taken near about 10 equivalent, and toluene as a solvent, toluene used as an solvent, and temperature is kept near about 90 degrees centigrade, and this reaction mixture was stirred about 12 hours. So, this is a speciality of this reagent. BOM is benzoyl methoxychloride. It is used as an protecting group. And next one, D reagent will be, I am using over here, D reagent is nothing but TBAF, that is a tetrabutyl ammonium fluoride, which was taken near about 1.0 mole in THF, tetrahydrofuran, which was taken near about 10 equivalent. The temperature is 70 degrees centigrade, and this reaction mixture was stirred for 8 hours, and 8 hours, and then there will be a 97% yield for the two steps. These were the reagents which were used during this synthesis. Now, the next reagent which is used, that is the next one is a E. I think E onward, the reagent which that is remaining, I think that reagent and their explanation and where they can be used, all these things that we will discuss in our upcoming lectures. Till then, have a nice day. Thank you.